Hello, I'm Susie and you're watching Susie Makes. Thank you so much for being here. It has been a little while since my last kiln unload, but I have so many test tiles, and the way I do test tiles is I make coasters and I also make little bowls, and then a lot of times I just kind of put an experiment on a big bowl, and sometimes it comes out great and sometimes I have to refire it. So I have plenty of things for you to see. This might be a very long kiln unload because there is a lot. Okay, so I'm going to start with the things that I kind of know right off the top of my head, and then I'll continue. I have a list here. So this I was impatient and I had some of my pieces blow up in my little kiln because my little kiln doesn't have a preheat option. And so it was unfortunate, but what do? You make test tiles. So that's what happened to two of my mugs. And I ended up just putting these were glazes that I actually made myself. I mixed myself using the Old Forge floating clear, and then adding certain percentages of different metals. So this is on Kentucky Mudworks Brown Bear Clay. So that is a very nice black. This is my first time ever working with this clay and using it because I'm over in Arizona, and unless I get it shipped, there's no local ceramic store that will carry Kentucky Mudworks, sadly. So these are glazes that I made myself, and I am sorry about the, there we go, the glare. I'm going to try to get that glare off, but the top one is I am attempting to make a purple. And obviously it's kind of hard to see on a dark clay body, but I am happy. I still need more experimentation there. And then the bottom one is a green, and I'm really, really happy with that green. I'm really happy with the way the green gets speckles on this dark clay body. I'm so happy with that. So now I just need to name it. And I've been naming all the glazes that I make myself after stones, crystals, those kinds of things. So if you have an idea for a green that is like that, it's just so pretty. So I'm excited about that. The purple I see needs help. And then these drips here every so often, that's just the Old Forge flux. And I wanted to see how that plays with all of this. So with the Kentucky Mudworks Brown Bear Clay, with my purple, with my green. Okay, so that's that. There is this other one that also exploded. What can you do? And these, let me get that glare off. Oh my gosh. How do I prevent that glare? Okay. Close enough. Okay, so the top half, no, there we go. The top half is Autumn Purple by Spectrum. The bottom half is Amico Seaweed. And then these drips are the same Old Forge Old Forge flux that I mixed up from a recipe on Glaze. And I really love what that flux does here. You see, that does not do the same thing. So let's compare the differences. So I definitely prefer what flux does to this Autumn Purple. Okay. So now I'm getting my paper here. Oh, I have another, this is just a cast piece. Will you or won't you? There we go. This is just a little cast poison bottle that I added about 6% black mason stain to my casting slip. And then I painted a clear glaze on top of the poison label. I don't know that I would do that next time, but this is all just an experiment. And this blue is actually my Old Forge floating clear that I mixed up from the Old Forge glazy recipe. Okay, and I did pour it inside too. So that's my thinking. I'd like to make little bottles and get cork toppers. And I like the idea of making them, you know, a little spooky, a little witchy. Okay. And it keeps wanting to focus over on my glaze cabinet, which is beautiful, I agree, but I don't need it focusing there. Anyway, okay, so I have my list here of my tests, and we will just go, let's see, we'll just go with like items. Okay, so I made a lot of these little finger bowls. I just like them because they're an easy purchase to make. A lot of times people want to come up, and ceramics are so expensive, and I understand it. I understand why it has to be expensive. I'm a ceramicist, I know, but at the same time, a lot of times people don't have a lot of excess. So I like to offer these little, they can be ring dishes, they can be, I mean, I'm blanking now, but they could really just be like a little, they could be like a little soap dish. I have a friend who cuts her soap into little cubes. Instead of having one big chunk of soap, she cuts her soap into little cubes. And so, look, I'm sure people could come up with other things, little like earrings that are really small that get lost in the jumble. So this one that I've been showing you, oh, isn't that pretty? I used a texture roller and rolled it onto a slab of clay, and then I used a circle cutter, like a cookie cutter, and then I just kind of pinched up the edges to make that bowl shape. And this is my Old Forge floating cobalt. So on glazy.org, Old Forge floating cobalt recipe. And I did do some Old Forge flux on the rim, which I just don't even think came out at all. So, but I do love that is like a purple blue. It's so pretty, and it is on my reclaim. I've been really enjoying working with my reclaim that I showed how to reclaim in the last video. For a while, I was focusing all my reclaim, like all my dark clay separate from my white clay, separate from my red clay. I had like 5 different reclaim buckets going, all kind of like very specialized. And then finally, I'm not sure why I did that, but finally I just decided, actually, what will happen if I just mix it all together, and it might be like a peachy color, and I love it. I just love the color. It's so earthy, and it's got a few speckles, but not too many. It's not like speckled buff that has so many speckles. So this one, whoop, isn't that pretty? That is my same purple that I made times 3. So that same purple that I showed you on the brown bear clay, my exploded mug. And so that is purple times 3, and then I did my aqua calcite times 1. And that aqua calcite, it will show up, I believe, in another space, but it ends up being really lovely kind of like light turquoise. So I think that's what you're seeing in the center there. And you can't, the purple ended up really getting dark. So like I said, I have to work on that purple. Still gonna play around with that. This one is my green that I made ×2. And then I did add the Old Forge Flux on the rim there. And I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'm interested to seeing what will happen on a mug, like on a vertical surface. This is pretty flat if you think about it. So there was not a whole lot of running, but where there is like a, I don't know, where there is running, it's interesting. So I'm excited to see what that'll look like. This one, oh, okay, here we go. Boop, boop. That's just my aqua calcite ×2. Isn't that pretty? I really, really love that color glaze. I am so excited about it. So that's aqua calcite again on my reclaim. So you see not a lot of speckles come through where it's thick. Love that. And last but not least is my pink. This is a pink I've been working on. It's a little bit more mauve, I guess, a little bit more pink purple. I'm gonna have to decide what to name it, but I do really, really like it. And you can see a bit of where the speckles are and a bit of variation. Oh, trying to show you. Sorry about that glare. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I do like that. And that's just, that's my pink ×3. Again, another one that I have to name. If you have any ideas for any kind of like precious stones or crystals or anything, I'm looking for ideas. Okay. I have a lot of little bowls. Let's see. Well, I have a big bowl. I'll just show you my big bowl. Okay. So there is this one, also on reclaim. This was an experiment again. That's so satin. I bet there's some of you out there that know exactly what that glaze is because of the satinness. So what I did, and let me see. Okay, I'll take that glare off. Okay, what I did was inside, okay, I coated one coat with Spectrum Autumn Purple and then 2 coats of Mako Rose Quartz. Okay, and then on the outside, I did, let's see, 1 coat of Rose Quartz and 2 coats of Autumn Purple. And then I did do a little Lynette's Opal on the rim here. So you can see where that Lynette's Opal kind of started running here. And then on the inside, that's why it looks like that. Yeah, I'm not happy with this transition, like from here to here. It looks so weird, but that's because I did the rose quartz on the bottom and I didn't know how runny it all would be. So I stopped the autumn purple right here. And yeah, that rose quartz on top will make it matte. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't know that it needs to be refired, to be 100% honest. I like seeing what autumn purple does on top of rose quartz. So I know for sure I don't ever want rose quartz on top unless I want this satin finish, which I normally don't. I'm not a big fan of that. So that's my opinion. Obviously, we all have different ideas of what we like. Okay, Oh, there's just so much. I've got a plate here, and I don't remember that off the top of my head, so I will skip that and keep going with these little kind of trinket dishes. Okay, so got this guy, and that's also on my reclaim. I have to grind it down still. Okay, so that looks to be the best view of that. Okay, that is 2 coats of oatmeal, Amico oatmeal, and then 2 coats of Iron Lustre. And usually that combination on a vertical surface will do kind of what's happening down here, and it'll get really drippy. But that's what happened on this trinket dish. And I don't dislike it. I think it's super cute. And that's exactly what I was doing with these, is to test what these combinations would do. So that's 2 oatmeal and then 2 Iron Lustre on top. Okay, and this one, also on my reclaim. This is 2 of Mako's Tropical Teal, and then 2 Amico Oatmeal. I do like what is happening there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to get closer, but I just don't know that that's going to, yeah. There is a little pinkiness to it. As you can see, there's little floating flecks of this blue. So I'm really interested in seeing how that will react in a vertical surface. So I think that that will be lovely. Okay. This one is just all on my reclaim. This one is just 3 times Tropical Teal by Mako. Isn't that pretty? Just by itself, it's so pretty, especially with texture, because you can see how in the recessed areas it's lighter. In the raised areas, it's a little bit greener. So that is really cool. I'm excited about that. That's a new to me glaze. So I'm excited to play around with that. This one was interesting to me. I thought that maybe I accidentally used abalone, but no, this is 3 times Amico oatmeal just by itself, and it ends up being like a satin. It's not as rough as the abalone, but I really like it. And my son says that because of this cobblestone texture, it actually does look like oatmeal. I don't disagree. So that's a fun one. And you can see how the speckles of my reclaim, those aren't pinholes. They look a little bit maybe on the camera like they are, but they're actually not. They're just the way the speckles get picked up by that oatmeal. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. More tests, more tests. This one is, let's see, oatmeal times 2, and then Tropical Teal on the top times 2. So that gives it this very blurry, fuzzy, kind of soft, airbrushed effect. I find really interesting. It's beautiful. Definitely going to be using that combination. Interested to see what it'll do on a vertical surface. Okay, and let's see. I guess Oh, okay, here we go. This one is, bet you can guess. So it's 2 coats of Iron Lustre and then 2 coats on top of Tropical Teal. So first Iron Lustre and then Tropical Teal. You see all those rivulets. Really pretty. I'm excited to use that. And again, this is on the Reclaim, so it will look different on white clay, on dark clay, but really enjoying that. Okay, so this one is Tropical Teal times 2, and then Iron Lustre on top. Okay, so this one is Tropical Teal first, and then Iron Lustre. This one is Iron Lustre first, and then Tropical Teal. So you could see the 2 differences. Pretty different. Okay. Let's see, I think, is that all of those? Okay. So this one is, oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that one. Okay, what I did was I did a coat of Amico Obsidian, and then I wiped it back, meaning that it just stayed in the recesses of the texture. And then I did 1 coat Autumn Purple and 1 coat Seaweed. I really like that. That's beautiful. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Really nice. That one's really nice. Oh, this one. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this one. It kind of looks like a hot mess. This is 2 coats of Iron Lustre first, and then 2 coats of Oatmeal on top. So Iron Lustre first, and then Oatmeal. And I think I have, let's see. So, okay, so let's see if I can show you a comparison. Okay, so that one, Iron Lustre times 2, Oatmeal times 2. Okay, this one, Oatmeal times 2, Iron Lustre times 2. So it does depend what order you put your glazes on, okay? I prefer this one definitely over this one, and it's the same pattern, so that does matter. Okay, let's see. This one, so glary. Okay, that one is I did the same thing as I did with the other one, except for with this one, I did 1 coat of my flux, the Old Forge flux, and then I wiped it back. And then I did 2 coats of my purple that I'm working on. And then I did 1 coat of flux on the rim. And so you can kind of see that it didn't play well, the flux with my purple. And I just need to keep experimenting. I don't like how that purple looks. It's too brown. Yeah, but decided to show you because that's what I like to do. I like to experiment. There are some parts that I do like. There's some areas here. So I'll keep working on that purple. I'm going to get a good purple, and I want to get a good pink. Right now I have a good pink purple. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, this one. Let's see. I think this is really pretty. Is it going to focus? Okay. It's feeling like it's not going to focus too much, but that's okay. You can kind of get the gist. Okay, you get the idea. That is the Old Forge Floating Cobalt. I did 1 coat and then I wiped it back. And then I did 3 coats of my aqua calcite. And to be honest, this looks very similar to just my aqua calcite. Let's see. Maybe it's just the slightest bit more blue. Aqua calcite's a little bit more green. But I don't know that it made much difference to have that floating cobalt there. It's pretty. I like it. I love that aqua calcite. I have to mix up some more because I ran out during this experiment. Okay, we'll keep going. There's a few that I was experimenting with the decals. So let's see, there's this one. And that is obsidian. So that's Amico obsidian all the way around. And then my flux on the rim. And I see that it just didn't, it was too horizontal, too flat. It didn't melt very well. But I do like that color of that the obsidian and the flux give it. And then as you can see, I'm having to figure out my clear because I did do 1 coat of clear over the transfer and it just, I don't even know what happened. It looks terrible. I might pop this in for another firing, but it's just an experiment. I just wanted to see what flux looked like on top of obsidian. And I like it. I like that blue that it gives it. Oh, this one. I really, really like this one. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It did take over my transfer, but that's okay. I love the glaze and I love how it feels. It's so smooth. You could see there's just, look at that. It's like frozen lake, but not the frozen lake technique. Okay, so this is actually 2 coats of Laguna Lime Burst, which I wasn't a fan of the Lime Burst on its own, but I like it like this. Then 2 coats of Seaweed by Amico. And then I did do some of my floating cobalt on the rim, which again, I don't know how necessary that is. So it just darkened it to the toasty clay color, but it's not as dark as I want. Perhaps that melted down all to this, but I'm not sure, but I do love that. So that's a combo I would keep. I would do Laguna Lime Burst and Amico Seaweed definitely again. Very lovely. And again, you can see how lumpy that clear is. So I have to figure it out. It's zinc free, but it's so cloudy and it's really runny, so I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to add some gum solution. So I did kind of put in a little glaze haul order for Black Friday. So I'm a little bit nervous about getting so much glaze all at once, but this is a good time to do it, I guess, if I'm going to do it at all. I really, really like how this turned out. Look how cute that is. That is Laguna Robin's egg, which I just got. This is still my old supply, but I just got some dry powder, and I'm going to, I think I got enough for 1 gallon, 5 pounds. So we'll see. Anyway, so that's 1 coat of Laguna Robin's egg. And then I did do Lynette's opal on the rim, which I don't know is very necessary. I love Robin's egg. I really love it a lot. And I have a student that loves it as much. So I decided, why not get a pound, or why not get 5 pounds and see if I could make a gallon. And then again, my clear, sadly, but it's still beautiful. I love that. Love that one. Okay. Oh, another one that I really like. Come on. There we go. This is 2 coats of Autumn Purple by Spectrum. And then I did do my Old Forge Flux on the rim. Again, I just don't know if it's necessary. That Autumn Purple is so pretty. So pretty, especially on my reclaim. I love it. Really nice. Okay. And then this one, I did burnish the bottom, so I'm pretty proud of that. Look at how shiny that looks. All right. I love that. Okay, and let's see, there's more. There's still more, so I hope you're not bored yet. This one, kind of an interesting thing. What happened was it cracked, and what I did is I just slapped on a little sprig molded thing, little sun in there. The sun looks terrible, but I really like the color combination, so I'll tell you what that is. It is 3 coats of Laguna Lime Burst, 1 coat of my Flux on the Sun, that's that center sprig mold piece, and then I did do 1 coat of my Aqua Calcite on the rim. And so I think next time I might overlap them a little bit more, but I do really like how that Lime Burst and my Aqua Calcite look. I really like how that Aqua Calcite looks here too. So it's pretty. I'll keep it for me. This one I love. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Okay. That is so simple. Seaweed. Amico seaweed times 3. I just ordered a gallon of seaweed because I love it so much. I think a piece of Kiln wash ended up. I have to do some maintenance on my Kiln shelves. But anyway, maybe I'll film that. So there is just seaweed times 3. I did do some of my Flux on the rim. And really, I just wanted to see what my Flux would do with all of these. That's why I kind of would add the Flux a bit. So I love that. I think that's where we get this baby blue. So you can tell I really love green. I love all the greens. I have too many greens. Okay, I don't want to call it a fail, but it's not this is my purple. So as you can see, it's just too dark. So I will adjust it to see what I need to do. This is 2 coats of my purple. And then I also did some autumn purple on the rim. So I think that that's what you're seeing here, is that autumn purple. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working on my purple. It's the kind of thing I like to do. Ooh, this was interesting. I think this was a lot of things. Sometimes I'll just throw things at these dishes, like whatever glaze I have open. So I did have a transfer underneath. I don't know if you could see it, that there's a moon here. And I believe there's like another little moon here. But I wanted to see how opaque this combination would be. So this is 1 coat of my aqua calcite, 1 coat of my purple, 1 coat of my flux. And then I did do the Old Forge floating cobalt on the rim. So there's a lot going on there. But I actually really like it. Again, I still have to work on that purple. So we'll see. I don't know that I like how thick and opaque it is, but I do like this kind of like mixture. All of this over here. I like how flowy it ended up too. So that, and it feels so smooth. Like it's just really smooth. There's no orange peeling. There's no pitting. It's really nice. Look at that. Oh, it's so smooth. Okay, I love that. I'm a sensory person, so I really like how smooth that is. Oh, this one's funny. This one's funny and I don't hate it. It's okay. Again, I have these transfers underneath and I wanted to see how opaque this was. And I bet you can guess. Mako Rose Quartz. That is 2 coats of Mako Rose Quartz. And then I threw a bit of my Old Forge Flux on the rim. And look at what happened there. It's really interesting. It's, you can even, let's see. I don't know if you could hear that. It's just so satiny. It's not glossy at all. There's just no glossy there. Which, you know, that might be a look that you're going for. So I'd suggest testing this with either, if you don't make your own glaze, you can do running hot chowder, or you can do honey flux, you know. So if that's what you're going for, I'm sure that there's something that can be used for. I'm just not a big fan in general of satin or matte glazes, but I'm sure I'll find something to like about them. There's this one, which was kind of a tester. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I did obsidian all over, except for in the center, obviously. I did obsidian 2 coats, and then I did 1 coat of seaweed, 1 coat of autumn purple, and then 1 coat of rose quartz. So I was trying to see if I could do a Northern Lights, or what I would need to do in Northern Lights. And I just don't know that rose quartz is a good stand-in. I know a lot of people use Smoky Merlot, but I didn't have Smoky Merlot. I do love how that seaweed looks on top of obsidian. That's gorgeous. So that's something that I need to keep in mind. And then along with that, I did a deeper bowl in similar, but I also did a swirl of my flux inside. So I'm trying to see if I can get that glare out of the way. Maybe something like that. But anyway, so you could see it's all obsidian times 2, and then there's seaweed, I believe. Autumn purple and rose quartz. And then I did a swirl, poop like that, of flux. So you can kind of see what that did. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's a little chaotic. I feel like a little chaotic. Along with exploding my mugs, the kiln cracked my plate. So I decided to use it as a test also. Test tile. So this is Kentucky Mudworks Brown Bear. Okay. So let me see if I can remember everything. All right. So this one here is seaweed. This one here is Tropical Teal. This one here, Iron Lustre. And then this one here, Oatmeal, which I'm pleasantly surprised by. I really like that. And then these two are my own glazes. This one's the one I call Aqua Calcite. I really, really, really love how that looks on the dark clay. And then this one here, I don't have a name here. Let's see, I'm going to try to get this closer. I don't have a name for this pink yet. It's the same pink that I had on my little finger bowl. So that's what that looks like on dark clay. This is what it looks like on reclaimed clay. Sorry that it's not focusing, but so I don't have a name for that pink clay or that pink glaze, but I'm really happy with it right now. Sorry. There we go. That's a pretty good reproduction. I don't know. That's good with what it looks like in person. That pink. I don't know. I've got to find a nice name for it because I think that I'm ready to start using it especially with my dark clay. So as you can see, I'll go over one more time. This is Tropical Teal. This is my pink. And then this is where they overlapped. I wanted to see what would happen. This is Oatmeal. This is my Aqua Calcite. This is Iron Lustre. And this is Seaweed. Okay. Well, I have a couple more. Well, I have plenty more, but I'll show you this mug. It did move the glaze. It did drip, so I do have to grind it a bit. But this is on my reclaim. This is 3 coats of Amico seaweed. And then inside, I believe, is my Old Forge Floating Clear. And then just a bit of that on the rim here. I love that interaction between it. I just love seaweed. I really do. It's supposed to be more glossy. I've been handling it a lot because I'm so excited about it. There it is. It's pretty. So I did that, and then there is this little dish too from that same texture roller. It's an insects texture roller. And I did, on this one, I did do 1 coat of oatmeal. I wiped it back, and then I did 3 coats of seaweed. And I love that. I mean, I just love everything with seaweed. I'm a big fan. And so I also did the same mug, and I did it in Iron Lustre, which I didn't know is like a, I can see like glitter and sparkles. I don't know if it's showing up too well on camera. And then the same, I just put Old Forge Floating Clear inside and a bit on the rim. And then this one did not run. It was really stable. So it went right to where I painted it. Look at that, isn't that pretty? I probably could have taken that down more to see what that looks like, but I really like that. It's a sweet little cup, sweet little mug. And then this is its matching little tea bag dish. And this is just 3 coats of Iron Lustre. Three coats of Iron Lustre. Okay, so I'm gonna be right back. So this is on Kentucky Mud Works Brown Bear. And I noticed that the brown bear has these like little, this is from my kiln shelf, so I'll just sand that off, but there, it's like these little pieces of glitter or something. It's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I made a little garlic grater, and I did 1 coat of oatmeal and 3 coats of my aqua calcite. And that was probably too many coats because this is not as raised as I would have wanted it to be. So, learning for next time, but I do love it. It's so pretty. Let's see. Okay. This one is also on Reclaim. And that is Autumn Purple. I'm guessing 2 coats, but I could have accidentally done 3. And I can't actually remember what I did on the rim. I didn't even write it down. So it's possible that I put obsidian, but I'm not super sure. I apologize for that. I have been working on getting better and better, but I do know I was in a rush. This one is also Kentucky Mud Works Brown Bear. And look, I mean, look at what I'm talking about. It looks like there's like glitter embedded in there. This one I did burnish, and I have a short of me burnishing with my tiger's eye. Oh, it ended up, but this is a smooth clay anyway. Like there's like no grog. It's such a delight to work with. I wish that I had access to it closer to me. So inside is just my Old Forge Floating Clear. And then on the outside, I did Autumn Purple ×2. So it's pretty similar, the Autumn Purple and the Old Forge Floating Clear, in some ways. Probably could have gone a little bit more in there. Nope. Okay. I don't know. Oh, there it is. There she blows. Okay. I like how the Old Forge picked up the speckle. Okay. I do have a lot of ornaments to do, but I have one more bowl to show you, and all my ornaments are in the bowl. Okay. So this is a another reclaim, and I was trying to do like a galaxy thing with the jungle gems. So let me see. This is 3 coats of Amicose obsidian, and then 1 coat of really thickly applied jazz notes by Jungle Gems. And I did not take it all the way to the bottom. I'll put a picture to show you what I ended up doing, but I stopped right here, and I wish I would have just taken it all the way. I like it a lot. It's not what I was looking for. I was looking for a galaxy kind, but I still really like what it ended up doing, so I think that's cool. Okay, there's that. Okay, so I'm really close to being done. I did do a few ornaments. This is just seaweed with some flux on the edges. This is my green with some flux on the edges. This is oatmeal. This is Iron Lustre with the flux on the edges. I'll show you what it looks like without. Iron Lustre without. It's pretty cool. That Iron Lustre is pretty cool. It's a new to me glaze. This one is Lustrous Jade by Amico, and I did put flux on the edges. This one broke, but it is Tropical Teal, and then the Pasler Gold up here, which you could see it drips if it comes into contact with the other glaze. I wasn't sure if that would happen. This one is Deep Red Fire Brick by Amico, and it looks a lot nicer than it does on camera. It looks nice in person. There, that's kind of more accurate. Oh, this one is Olive Float. That's also a new to me glaze. Olive Float. Really pretty. That's 2 coats. That's 1 coat. So I like both. I like both ways, 2 coats or 1 coat. This one is Rose Quartz. Raspberry Mist. This is, I believe, my purple, but this could also be my pink. What do you think? Yep, it's my pink, isn't it? Yep, so this is my pink. So I guess I made a nice purple that I want to make myself pretend is pink. Let's see. And then there's just a few of these. This is Spectrum Autumn Purple. Isn't that pretty? Look at that drip. This one's the Tropical Teal again. There you go. And this, okay, so this is my purple. Do you see how dark that is? Okay, and last is this that is lemon meringue, and it's just a matte, a really, really satin matte glaze, and it looks like it's just gonna be blown out by this light. Yeah. And I believe that's that. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. Thank you for staying for so long because my voice is very tired now after having talked so much. So I will keep making. I have a market this Friday and I'm hopeful that I sell stuff. And then next Saturday, I will be doing a live pottery wheel demo at a hotel that has these like fun events, and that event is called Art Fest. And so I'm hopefully going to sell some pots there too. I don't have a whole lot of stuff, so it would be nice if I could just sell it all and start fresh in the new year. Wouldn't that be so nice? I have no more kids classes, no more teens classes. I'm done for the year with classes. I will have some dedicated students still coming and doing like an open studio at my house, but nothing really formal. That's just kind of going to be like they're working on their thing and I'm going to work on my thing. And I think that Art Fest live pottery demo is the last chance that I'll have to sell stuff. And then it's Christmas. So I have been doing pottery for a really long time, but I've only just started getting back to it recently. And I haven't really had a whole lot of time to explore and figure out what my voice is. I know the forms and I know how to throw on the wheel, and I'm remembering how to hand build like mugs. So, but I get distracted. So now I'm learning how to design in 3D so that I could print a 3D texture roller. So that I can like create my own texture rollers for my pieces. So I get distracted with that, and with the glazing. Like I love the idea of making my own glazes. So I've gotten distracted with that. And my limited time already in that I do teach art, but all of that is on pause right now. We just experienced probably the worst situation that I've ever experienced. So far, I mean, really, just really the worst in a long time. I can't express to you how terrible the situation was, but my friend and business partner and I have been in business together for 3 years. And when there are misunderstandings, when there's problems in communication or different expectations, we are always able to come together and talk and figure it out. Like we both come to each other with compassion and understanding and knowledge that whatever misunderstanding there was not purposefully meant by either one of us. So we have been able to communicate very well, and we decided to split a space with another person that we had known for a long time. We've known them tangentially for a long time, and they always seemed like a fine person, you know, had their struggles like everybody has struggles. We didn't think anything of it, and their dream of building a community kind of meshed really well with our dream of um, creatively educating kids. And we split the space, and this person could not communicate, like, and so I decided, why don't we, Nancy and me, work on our own side, you work on your own side, and then and that will be how it is. Come to find out that they thought that they had unlimited access to our side. I don't know what made them think that they were entitled to our side. Um, I know we never said that they did. I know that we, in the beginning, expressed an interest in collaborating because we thought they were a, like, regulated human. When we learned that they weren't, we no longer wanted to collaborate with them, but we could have still rented side by side. Ultimately, it became where we could not even talk to them. Just the thought of going to our art space was distressing for me because I did not want to even get into conversations with this person and hear just grievance after grievance. It just, there's no positivity. And there was like an attempt at that, but it's a sad attempt. So in the end, we were basically forced out. There were options on the table of us staying in the space and paying all the rent, which we could not do, which we were extremely forthcoming with this person in the beginning, that our limit was our limit, and then we ended up stretching our limit. They never stretched their limit. They stayed at their limit. So ultimately, we decided to just leave, and we hope that we get our portion of the deposit and the last month's rent that we paid, but it really taught us a major lesson. Get everything in writing if you ever go in on anything with anybody. Even if you were like, no, this person has a good head on their shoulders, they probably don't. They probably know how to mask and make you think that. um, what else? We learned definitely not to agree to something. This person found this space and was like ready to sign the lease. And the other thing that they wanted to do, which I'm so happy I said no to, but they wanted to make a joint bank account with both of our businesses. Can you imagine what that would have even been like untangling? I'm so glad that I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But they were like pretty gung-ho on that in the beginning. Weird. Just a lot of weirdness. And the worst part is we didn't actually, we didn't see it in the beginning. We didn't see it. We had multiple meetings. We were constantly confirming like, hey, we have children. This is the way we teach. We don't shush them. We don't force them to sit. We let them play and run and giggle and sing. And of course, in the beginning is, oh no, I love that about you. I love that about you. Yeah, yeah. Week two was like, every time that there was like any noise, it was like this like stink eye from the other room. And I mentioned it to them. I said, hey, it seems like, you know, our kids are bothering you. We don't shush them. We did say that we didn't shush them. And the person was like, oh, no, no, not at all. Not at all. Yes. Yes, they did. They were bothering you. So it was so much drama, and this is what really prevented me from being able to focus on anything, like at making anything. I was really focused on just making sure my kids, my students, were still comfortable, that they were shielded from that negative energy. And so now everything is on pause. I can get back to my pottery. All the classes are on pause until January, and we are regrouping. We are still looking for a space. We're not going to rush into anything. We're going to get everything down in writing. um, yeah, that's what we learned. So it didn't teach me don't trust anybody, because I'm not, one single terrible human is not going to completely ruin my faith in humanity. But it did teach me that maybe my red flag radar is off or has not been working. So moving forward, we'll definitely be better at picking those signals up. Otherwise, my life is so peaceful. I don't usually have to experience that type of negativity in my day. And that person, they swim in it all day long. They swim in it. And I know that I should have like sympathy and pity for them, but right now it's too fresh, and I just have like a disgust, and they're repellent. Like literally I'm repelled by them. I'm going to have to see their face in a few days, and I'm like physically disgusted that I'm going to have to, because a person like that is repellent. That's just disgusting. But then after that, I won't have to interact with them ever again. So that's going to be a lovely, lovely thing. And I'm going to be able to go back to my lovely life where I'm just sitting here making pottery, glazing pottery, and teaching kids. I mean, at the end of it all, I'm pretty damn lucky. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you for hearing me rant. I tend to rant at the end of my videos. I think they're good little glimmers and reminders for myself of really how privileged I really am, how lucky I am to be able to just walk away from that ugly experience and pretty much unscathed, you know. And they'll have to live with themselves. So, you know, I don't know that I'm at a place right now where I can wish them healing, but I'll get there. And maybe they'll find healing. Anyway, that's enough. I would love to know what your favorite piece that came out of my kiln was today. I'd love to know if you've ever had like a weird situation like that where you were sure that everything was gonna like come out great, and you really learned a lesson on some types of humans in this world, and been able to walk away from miserable people. I'd love to hear your stories and to know that I'm not alone. All right. Thanks again. Bye.